Hello everybody, welcome back. I just came from a 48-hour shift from work. I slept there for 2 nights and worked the whole day. I'm very tired. But I just got something in the mail and I kind of want to unbox it on camera. And while we're here, show you the other books I got this month. This month was an unhinged one. I just completely let myself loose when it comes to buying books. As I said in my last video, I had quite a stressful time with all my uni work and stuff, with all my assignments, and I was just like, fuck it, I just need to buy a whole bunch of books, you know? I got books in multiple different places. Let's start with the ones I got from the free box in my neighborhood. It's huge, and I found out that there is a warehouse for a used bookstore next to it, and I think they just put all their surplus stock that they can't sell there, and I think that's why I walked by there, and the next day I walked by there again, and they just had like 50 new books there. So I think I decided to just feel that it's acceptable if I just take more than I put there. I picked up poems by Joachim Ringelnatz, who writes poems that are like a little bit funny, a little bit light-hearted, very creative, and I want to read more poetry, so that might be a little humorous, nice little book. And then I put my Fredrik Backman novel there that I did not very much like, and I exchanged it for literary essays by Albert Camus with no dust jacket, but that doesn't matter, and I think that's a pretty good trade. And yeah, it just has all kinds of little essays and non-fiction writings in it. That's I think I'll prefer that to the Backman book. And then I got this book by Jorge Bucay in absolutely giant font. Very easy to read. I can read this from quite far away. This is short stories. I think I heard about this book a whole bunch of times. I don't really know very much about it, but seen a lot of people read it and mention it, and maybe I like it. Then I went to the central library of the city of Hamburg that I live in, and they in the basement have like a whole bunch of shelves, and every single book there is €1. Like, no matter the condition or the age, it's a steal. It's absolutely amazing. And I bought 4 books there. I bought Der Weiße Dampfer by Chingiz Aitmatov. This is an author that I kind of became interested in recently. I have another one here, and I also read one by him this month. I don't think he's really been, at least not all of his novels have been translated into English, so that might not be very interesting for a lot of you watching. But yeah, I'll review them nonetheless, and I think he hasn't really been translated very much into English. That's what I researched. I don't know if that's correct. Die Judenbuche, the Jew Beech Tree by Annette von Droste-Hülshoff. I don't really know a whole lot about this, but it just kind of intrigued me. I like these Anaconda editions a lot. I have a small collection of them, and honestly I just like the title and the cover, and it just seemed kind of interesting. I don't really know a whole lot about this, but it's also quite old, I think. And I think it's from 1842. So I think the reason why a lot of these editions are so cheap is because a lot of the texts have no copyright and are very old. That's at least what I assume. I'm going a bit quick here because we have a lot to cover. We have Bracke by Klabund. Klabund is a pseudonym of a writer that was also part of the. This is very dirty, but I'll show you. He was part of the group 1925, where like people like Ernst Weiss and Hermann Unger and Bertolt Brecht were writing. This is a literary. I don't even know if you could call it a movement, but like a literary group that I get interested in, and I just whenever I see an author who wrote in that time in that group, then I'll just pick them up, and I don't know, seems cool. And then I got Nichts, Nothing by Janne Teller. This is a book that I think is like very much a young adult or even like teenager novel addressed to teenagers, and a lot of people read this in school, I think. And I know that someone recommended this to me all the way back when I was in school, and I've never read it. And they say it's a parable, so they compare it to Lord of the Flies. I'd like to read Lord of the Flies. That would seem like an interesting book. But yeah, they compare it to Lord of the Flies. I don't know. I think this gets into like politics, maybe to teach teenagers about, politics a little bit. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. I'll read it when I get time. Next up, I got these Busted Handcuffs on this very old book, also by Cengiz Aytmatov. This is quite an old edition, I think. Let me see if I can find an. No, I can't really find a. Can't find a year here. But this definitely is quite old. It's called Abschied von Gulsari, however you pronounce that. Yeah, this I've seen this author a lot recently. I have never heard about him until a couple months ago. And now, like in the Central Library, where they had like tons of books by him. And I didn't say this. I did not get this one and the next one in the library. I got these at a local flea market next to my house. And it was good that it was next to my house, so that I didn't have to carry this big ass book around with me for very long. If there would be non-fiction classics, this would definitely be one. The Rise and Fall of the Third Reich by William L. Shirer, in the German translation, the complete history of Nazi Germany, and its rise and decline, as it says, written by, I think, an American. I don't know if he's an Englishman or an American, but yeah, definitely a standard of history books. And this is gonna take me probably a very long time to read, but this is definitely something that belongs in your library if you're interested in history. So, guess how much I paid for it? €2. An absolute steal. I could not leave without that book. And next up, let's get into my little package. They somehow managed to like damage it. I don't know. They just seem to have ripped it completely open and then taped it back together. I hope that all the books are still in there. I guess we'll see about that. I don't even really remember how many books I bought, so I guess I'll look at the list. I have no recollection of what this is about. This is Die Schattenkönigin, The Shadow Queen by Asia Jebar. She North African. Does it say here? I do not remember where I found this book. I also do not really remember where I heard about it. This seems to be about two women married to the same man in like a little North African narrative, and concerning the role of women or something. That's what I understand from reading the blurb. sometimes I just I'm so poorly prepared for this, but sometimes I just scan through my reading list on my Goodreads and I just get whatever I can. I got Meister Eckhart vom Adel der menschlichen Seele, something about the grace of the human soul or something like that. Meister Eckhart, that's the guy that Eckhart Tolle named himself after. Old scholar. Oh, the printing is it's not black, it's dark brown. I don't know if you can see that. And this just has like little aphorisms and stuff like that. And this is hundreds of years old. This is from maybe even medieval times. It again doesn't really say a year here, but this is some ancient wisdom, you know? You can never go wrong with that, I think. And I think we got some more ancient wisdom in here. This is not ancient, but it's probably wisdom too. Nonviolent communication and power. This is actually the book that started this whole book buying spree, because this is a book that I need to read for uni soon. And I could have borrowed it in some library, but I kind of, you know, if I have to work through it, then I kind of want to be able to draw on it and take notes. And also I have two more down here. I have two more books about non-violent communication by Marshall B. Rosenberg, and it's kind of a collection now, so I wasn't afraid to pick this up. This, however, was pretty expensive. I think I paid 18 euros for this little booklet, you know. But most of the other books were pretty much very good deals and very cheap. I guess this is one of the books that got damaged. On the Shortness of Life by Seneca. This is also ancient wisdom, I guess. And it's not only about the shortness of life, it's also quite a short book. And just something that I think is nice to have. Some of that older stuff, you know? Yeah, I'll just go through them quickly because I'm a little bit rattled today. Let's see. We have Hans Fallada, wer einmal aus dem Blechnapf frisst. I don't really know how to translate this. Like, who eats out of the tin bowl or something. I don't really know. This is one of the oldest books on my reading wish list. It's been on there for many years. It's got a commentary written by Hermann Hesse on the back. That's an immediate green flag for me. And yeah, this is probably the book that got damaged during shipping, sadly. But yeah, also something that I wanted to read for ages. Literally like 5 or 6 years, I think. What do we have next? We got On the Road by Cormac McCarthy, and I have to explain that usually I really hate the movie tie-in editions of books. I think they almost always suck. However, if it's Viggo Mortensen on the cover, I think that drastically improves their quality. Who doesn't like Viggo Mortensen? Yeah, also a book that I wanted to read for ages and that I never have read. This is a nice edition, nice paper, nice margins, nice big font. Makes up for the shitty movie tie-in edition. Yeah, cool. Everybody talks about this book. It's everybody's favorite book ever. Every single person on like bro-ish, lit bro booktube likes this book. So I aspire to be one of them. No, just kidding. But that's just it's just a book that I want to read. Nothing more and nothing less. I got Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde by Robert Louis Stevenson. That's also got damaged. They really took poor care of my package, it seems. These editions, the Penguin Popular Classics edition, you get them basically for free. You could buy them on the internet for usually less than 2 euros. I think I paid like 1.80 for this. And once again, it's amazing how these canon-defining works of literature can be obtained for less than €2. That blows my mind every single time. And yeah, I hope to straighten this out a little bit. I put it a little bit deeper in the pile, then maybe it's gonna straighten out. We got a whole bunch more. What is this? The Art of Loving by Erich Fromm. Do I already have this? Do I maybe already have this? No, I don't. I have the Fear of Freedom. This is The Art of Loving by Erich Fromm. Some, I would say, probably philosophy. I think this is gonna be quite something to like work through more than something to just read recreationally. But I'm willing to put in the work and know how to love someone. Maybe that book will teach me that. No, just kidding. We got, this, I found out about this when I was writing my last paper that I wrote for uni. That was due last month. This Small Shimmer of Hope, or The Small Spark of Hope, by Peter Peterson and Jan or Jan, whatever, Rosenhag. This is the story of a therapy. They describe the process of a therapy with a victim of sexual abuse. And for my studies, I'm very interested in learning about trauma and its effects. I'm studying to be a therapist, and this just seems like, like worthwhile knowledge, and definitely something that also really, really interests me. How you could possibly work through something devastating and forever life-altering like sexual abuse. And I'm actually very, very much looking forward to reading this, and I think I'm probably gonna read it within the next couple of months. Yeah, very cool, very nice. I found this in one of the sources from my paper that I was citing, and yeah, this was available for also I think like €2 or €3. Very, very cheap. Very cool. And there are 3 more books. We have The First Man by Albert Camus himself. This is a weird little kind of edition. This has a weird format a little bit. It's quite short and stout. Look, it's I sometimes like that when a book has a weird format. If it's like pleasing, if it's too long, I don't really like that. But if it's a little bit shorter, then I think that's cool. Yeah, what is this? I don't know. I see Camus and I click buy. That's it, and it's not more, not less. And it's definitely maybe it's not a novel. Is it maybe some non-fiction? I cannot see it because there's a sticker on it. I guess I'll let it be a surprise. Let me see. We have another absolute classic, Far from the Maddening Crowd by Thomas Hardy. I have never ever read Thomas Hardy before. I don't know if I like him. For some authors, I buy them and without ever reading them, just because of who I heard about that book from, or where I kind of stumbled upon it. For some authors, I immediately know that I'm gonna like and enjoy their writing. For this one, honestly, I have no idea. Another one of these cheap Penguin Popular Classics edition. I like this. A lot of these use like this kind of font, this like quite, it's printed in very dark ink and it's very dense, and I do kind of like that. And I do feel like it kind of even helps the immersion a little bit. It looks a little bit like old-timey and stuff. Yeah, I enjoy stuff like that. Yeah, we'll see. Maybe, I don't know. Is this hard to read? Is this complicated? Is this postmodernism? No, I don't think it is. We don't know. No, he was this early 20th century, I think. Yeah, we'll see. I'm not really talking about any of the contents of the book, but who cares? This is unhinged edition, and unhinged I will be. The last book is Born on a Blue Day by Daniel Tammet. This is an autistic man, I think. Well, he was diagnosed with Asperger's. That is not really being diagnosed anymore. It's called autism spectrum disorder now. But he was diagnosed, and he talks about his synesthesia. He sees numbers as shapes and colors, and is like a math genius, apparently, maybe. And he just, I think this is like a memoir, you know? Like little lovely memoirs. I haven't read one in a while, and I like reading them, and maybe I'll like reading this. And that's already it. This was Book Haul Unhinged edition. I am so tired I could fall asleep immediately. And these are all of the books that I got. And I think I need to open a second pile because this one is very much overflowing. I think I'm over 160 now. 160 unread books. I hope that now that I'm done with most of my uni work for this semester, that I'm already in the next semester and got new uni work, but I hope that I can prioritize reading a little bit more again, and in the month of November I'm hoping to really read a ton. That's my plan. I'll see if I can achieve that. But yeah, for now, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. Drop me a comment if you liked this video, or also if you didn't like it, also drop me a comment and criticize me. But yeah, thank you for watching. See you next time. Have a lovely day.